right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vendo podcast. My name is Nicolas Martinez, and I'm the VP of Marketing here at Vendo. Today, we're talking about a very timely topic, and that is Prime Day, which is coming up. Well, we're really in it right now, but the main event is coming up in 1 week on Monday, June 21st and Tuesday, June 22nd. Those are the 2 days of the main event. And so hopefully, you all have spent some time, leading up to this big event preparing. But if not, or even if so, we've got some last minute Prime prep tips for you. These things that we're going to talk about will ensure that you can realize the best possible Prime Day with a limited time left to prepare. So the very first thing we want to talk about today is inventory. Inventory, of course, is absolutely vital. Without inventory, you cannot make sales. Unfortunately, if you haven't had the opportunity yet to stock up your inventory at Amazon FBA for Prime Day, it's most likely too late now. The deadline for that was end of May. However, there is the opportunity to get extra inventory into FBA in order to prepare for the increase in sales that come after Prime Day, right? Because one of the main goals of Prime Day is to drive up that minimum baseline for sales so that you see a long-term effect in the months and years really leading out from Prime Day. So definitely recommend, getting inventory out to FBA as soon as possible if you're worried about running out of stock shortly after Prime Day. And what we're recommending here is really whatever, if you're usually having about 1 month of inventory in stock, go ahead and double up on that inventory and really just put yourself in as strong of a position as possible. More likely than not, your inventory restrictions from Amazon aren't going to allow you to send too much in anyway. So we just recommend, really maxing out on your inventory and getting those at least 2 months in stock there. And then also, if you are concerned about your FBA inventory, making sure that you have FBM offers set up as a backup. Now, of course, in order to have FBM set up, FBM meaning fulfilled by merchant, you want to make sure that you have to have a way to actually ship products within, a certain handling and shipping speed. So, if you use a 3PL or you have your own warehouse or you're able to ship out of your own home office or whatever it may be, having another offer for your product as a backup with that extra inventory could be your saving grace, in the situation that you do run out of inventory at FBA. And so to set up that backup offer, you can, just go in, add a new product. You can add it under the same ASIN and just a slightly different SKU. And you can go ahead and add in any inventory, and you can even list it at the same exact price. And so what will happen there is when your FBA offer runs out of inventory, your FBM offer will go ahead and kick in right away, thereby, making sure that you don't miss out on any sales. So that's the number one tip in our last minute Amazon Prime prep tips. One of the tips, and definitely an important one. So again, make sure you get in as much inventory to FBA as possible. And then as a backup, have FBM offers set up. And of course, make sure that you have the logistical processes in place to actually handle those orders and get them out in time. Because if you don't get those orders out in time, within the shipping speed and handling time that you have set up in your settings, Amazon is going to negatively impact your account health. All right. The next item we want to talk about today, of course, is making sure your deals are all set up properly. Now, if you haven't set up any deals yet, most of the deadlines have passed. However, I just checked today, and Prime exclusive discounts you can still submit as a special Prime Day deal. This is quite a surprise because most of the information out there was saying that sourcing for those deals was going to end 2 weeks prior. So based on that, the deadline would have been last Monday. However, again, check today, and they're looking good. So hopefully by the time you're hearing this podcast, which again is a very timely one, so you should be hearing it within 12 hours or so of recording, hopefully you can still submit those deals. And if not, that's okay. because the deal type that you continue submitting and still has good merchandising opportunity with it is the coupons. So if you're not able to submit a product on a deal as a Prime exclusive discount, plan B, submit them as coupons. They'll get that green label that says coupon. They won't get that blue Prime Day deal label that Prime exclusive discounts get, but it'll still pop off the screen and get you some extra clicks and allow your deal to be more present on the marketplace. Now, if you're not able to submit on Prime exclusive discounts or on coupons, you always have the traditional sale that you can set up. So in order to set that up, you just go into the back end of the product pages, click edit the product, put in a sale price, put in a start day and end day. And that will most likely show up as a slashed discount, thereby promoting more click-through rate and conversion as well. So those are the recommendations on how to set up deals if you haven't already. Once you've set up deals, or if you already have, it's very, very important to continue to check for suppressions all the way up until the last minute, because we even saw this with Prime Day lead ups, where we're running Prime Day lead up sales a week before. Well, we saw right up to the last hour deals getting suppressed. So definitely important to be sure to check and double check and triple check your deals all the way up until the last minute. Here at Vendo, we're checking almost daily in these last few days of crucial time, but definitely check there. And again, the same priority goes. If you have them set up as Prime exclusive discounts and they get suppressed, go and try and set them up as coupons, because coupons have lesser requirements than Prime exclusive discounts. So they're a little bit easier to get approved. If they're not approved for coupons, go ahead and set them up as a traditional sale, and that will still be better than nothing. All right, so that's the second tip for the Prime Day prep. Make sure, of course, you have deals set up. And then once they're set up, make sure that they're not suppressed and keep a close eye on that all the way up till it's deal time. The third Prime Day tip I want to talk about today is your ad strategy, on Amazon ad strategy. Now, very, very crucial that you are planning for an increase in impressions, an increase in clicks. Of course, just naturally, with Prime Day being, the biggest or one of the biggest days of the year, alternating with Cyber Monday, Prime Day budgets are going to run out very quickly and much more quickly than they normally do. So here at Vendo, we're preparing to boost ad budget by at least 100%. This is just because of the massive influx of traffic, right? 25% of the US population made a purchase on Prime Day last year, and we expect that and more this year. So just naturally, because of that traffic, more clicks, your ad budget's running through quicker. Because it's so competitive during Prime Day, bids are also ramping up. Your competition is going to be ramping up bids. So you want to make sure that your bids are being ramped up, your budgets are being ramped up to support those bids. And then just like with the deal types, watching to make sure that they don't get suppressed. You got to watch your ads, watch them like a hawk. I know here we're watching them, every hour, every minute, really, around the clock. We've got our team on it. So really, really important, because, just think about it. Your ads run out just for a few hours, and that could be, thousands of dollars of lost sales, or even more, depending on the scale of your brand. So really, really important to be watching your ads like a hawk, ramping up bids and budgets, and making sure that you don't run out. And then also in these days leading up and these days following, it might be tempting to really invest a lot more in your ad budget. There is importance to that. But if you have a capped ad budget, and you have to decide whether to use that for the pre-prime lead up or the post-prime lead out or the main event, we're recommending to save that budget for the main event. The main event is where you're going to want to use most of that budget. However, if you have the luxury of being able to increase ad budget for pre-prime and post-prime as well as the main event, then knock it out of the park and target all of those phases in the structure. That is the third tip there. Make sure your bids and budgets are ramped up, and make sure you're saving as much as possible for the main event if you have to. And the fourth and final tip for Prime Day is something that we've been preaching for several years now, and of course has only got bigger and bigger. And that is promoting your Prime Day events off of Amazon. Now, we've mentioned it before, but when you drive traffic back to Amazon, that sale is said to have to get your product 3 times more ranking juice. Now, of course, the algorithm is proprietary, and that's to be debated. But it's been a pretty wide consensus in recent months that if you get a sale by driving traffic off Amazon to Amazon, you're going to get about 3 times the ranking juice. So that is incredibly powerful, especially when you have so much competition during such a big event as Prime Day, to really get ahead of the competition and knock it out of the park. And so you're probably wondering, how do I promote off Amazon? What's the easiest way? Well, considering we only have so many days left to plan, I would look at what you're already doing to promote your brand. Are you doing organic social? Are you doing paid social, paid search, email, influencer marketing? What's the low-hanging fruit that you can really tap into in this last week of planning and try to maximize this event? So just think about that and work to check any of those boxes that you can. If you've worked with influencers in the past, reach out to them, see if they are willing to promote it. If you have an email list that you feel comfortable targeting for Prime Day, leverage that, send out a promotion. This is only a 48-hour main event. It's a Prime, exclusive event. So, the likeliness of someone shopping your site that day instead of Amazon is much lower. And it can be a good opportunity to drive additional ranking on Amazon in a more powerful way, while also, leveraging all of that traffic that comes onto the marketplace as well. And so, as we mentioned before, when you're driving this traffic off of Amazon onto Amazon, it's always important to try and capture some bit of data along the way, an email, a phone number. And the reason for that is to have the ability to remarket post Prime Day, right? It'll give you the ability to boost the long-term potential of Prime Day, so that you can re-engage with any of those new to brand customers you won over during Prime Day. I mean, you're spending all this money, you're investing on ads, you're discounting your products, you're trying to really knock this out of the park, and then you don't have any of the emails or contact information of those customers. So it can be really difficult to re-engage with those customers post-purchase after the event and try to maximize that lifetime value. So what we recommend doing, again, and you can see this in past podcasts when we talk about how to drive external back to Amazon, is have a mechanism in place to capture that email, so that you can follow up post Prime Day, ask for an honest review. You can, promote new product launches, sales. You can also use that email and information to improve your targeting for prospective audiences. So you can actually import that information into Facebook, into Google, create lookalike audiences, retargeting audiences, so much power there. And again, past podcasts and case studies that we have go into detail about this. But, long story short, anything that you have low hanging that you can tap into as soon as possible, go ahead and leverage that to promote your Prime Day event. And if you want to track how the sales are being attributed to those efforts, since you're most likely not using a discount code, because coupons and Prime exclusive discounts are public, discounts that anyone can use. Prime members for Prime exclusive discounts, all members for coupons. Well, you're going to want to track how each of those off Amazon efforts worked. Amazon attribution is the best way to do that. Go ahead and, if you don't have if you're not set up, just go to Amazon attributions landing page. You can sign up and register really quickly. You'll get an invite within 1 minute, and you can go ahead and create trackable links in there. So that way you're actually able to vet, which of these off Amazon efforts that I did, resulted in the most sales attribution during the big event and contributed towards the total successes of the event. So that would be our last tip here for your Prime Day prep. So let's go ahead and sum it up here. Number one, watch your inventory closely, stock up at FBA as much as possible, and set up FBM as backup so that you never miss a sale. Number two, make sure that your deals are set up and make sure that your deals are not suppressed. Order of hierarchy for deals, Prime exclusive discounts, coupons, traditional sales. And again, watch them to the last minute. Number three, Amazon ads, watch like a hawk, ramp up your bids, ramp up your budgets. If you only have a limited budget, save that budget for the main event. If you have a little bit more, invest some of that in ramping up the products leading up and solidifying them leading out. Number four, promote your event off of Amazon. Do not just be reliant on the gods of Amazon, as I like to say. Look outside of the Amazon rainforest and find a way to promote this elsewhere. Organic social is an easy one. Might not be a big one, but it's an easy one. If you have influencers, maybe they're paid social, paid search, whatever you can do. This is the biggest day of the year, and we want to see you all knock it out of the park. And if you have any questions, thoughts, feel free to reach out, leave comments below, subscribe, please, and have an awesome Prime Day. We wish you all nothing but the best, and see you next week.